Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Good morning, ladies and germs. Welcome back to Hy-Vee Today for Monday, the 13th of August. It's good to be with you after a busy, warm weekend. I feel like I blinked and it went from Friday to Sunday. There were so many different things going on. We'll recap a few things that took place, but we're really here to talk about things that are coming up this weekend. So let's just go ahead and fast forward through the week, especially Monday. Like if I could just, like you could fast forward me talking right now if you're watching this later. You could fast forward this day and get us closer and closer to the weekend, because there is a lot happening just a few miles north of Muscatine. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So Chef Tess is in the building, but she's not with us, and that's okay. So that will make me just want to get right to our first guest. And one of our guests has been here for a third time now, but it's the first time we've had a father-son duo. So we have Ted Maroff and Tyler Maroff with us talking Wilton Founders Day. And I think it's pretty exciting to have the father-son connection on the show for the first time.
Well, we had never thought of that, but you're absolutely right.
You just made us think of that.
Yeah,
that is special.
This is groundbreaking grocery store talk show.
So do you guys keep stats like baseball then? First father-son duo?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Mark the date.
It's like Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr.
That's right.
That's exactly what's happening.
It's exactly the same thing as that.
So Ted, we were talking off the air. The first time you were here, it was cold. You had a Sweet Cubs coat on, and we were just kind of talking broadly about things happening in Wilton, downtown revitalization. That's certainly been rocking.
Yes, it has.
You survived a few thousand bicyclists with RAGBRAI.
That was actually a lot of fun. Yeah, the city put together a central tent.
Right.
And we had about 10 organizations between the alumni and the Legion Auxiliary, the Legion, the Wilton High School Band, and 15,000 people came through, and we sold about 1,000 sandwiches and 600 pieces of pie, and it turned out real well for everybody.
And one of the things that we had been kind of mentioning along the way was Wilton Founders Day, and here we go. It's Friday and Saturday. It's such a great time.
Yep.
It's been happening for a number of years, but I also know that you've worked to improve it. It's one of those events where it happens, and then you take things away and you implement it for next year. That's what I appreciate about this, is that it's not just always the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's also got to be nice to bring Tyler into the fold.
Well, that's you need a little more young energy and so forth. And Founders Day was kind of a reboot of Wilton Days way back in the 50s and 60s, and 1980 was the first Founders Day. And so what we're trying to do this year is reformat it. Tyler's in charge of the stage production. We're going to have a central stage in front of the old historic Rock Island Line Depot.
Fantastic.
And we've got, through Tyler's connections at the Quad City Rock Academy, a couple of teenage bands on Friday night and Saturday night. So we're just doing a ton of stuff. Sure. I mean, I have my manifesto if you'd let me read it on the air.
I mean, if you want to. We were going to pull it up on the screen. I just saw it a moment ago. So Tyler, you live in California, correct? Lived. Okay, are you back here now?
We moved the family.
Nice.
So I've got my wonderful wife, Melissa.
Yeah.
Raylan James, who's 6, and Zella May, who's 3. And
they'll be going to Founders Day, too.
They'll be going to Founders Day. You'll see them there.
Sure.
So Grandma happens to work in the mornings at the school.
Gotcha.
Raylan happened to be in kindergarten, and the internet in Moscow, Iowa, and Wilton got just fast enough for me to do my conference calls and video conferencing to run the Performance Academy out in Southern California. So we relocated, and I still fly out. In fact, the following weekend we have our Los Rios Rock School annual Summer Slam.
Sure.
And it's 7 hours of bands playing.
Wow.
And they're all under 17.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So, and the connection with the QC Rock Academy, and for folks that aren't familiar with it, it's such a great place.
Unbelievable place.
Greg Hipskin and his crew, I mean, they've really committed themselves to just keeping music alive with young folks. And we have your school's website, which is super fun. You have a great shirt on, by the way. The shirt's fantastic.
Yeah.
The website's also
totally
great.
illegal. This is not licensed, but I'm still waiting for Jimmy Page to call, because I think that'd be cool.
Who's going to complain about a shirt that's helping young people get exposed to music. So how long has the Los Rios Rock School been a thing? I mean,
Los Rios Rock School was started in Melissa and my home in 2010. And so now we have 8,000 square feet, 8 rehearsal rooms, 13 teachers that are all relevant recording artists as well, and 200 families from 30 different schools in the area.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And so what's really neat is we have a podcast called The Teacher Zone with Chris and Tyler, but Greg was part of that. So last year, as we started gearing that up, Greg was playing some small shows plus Bix and all that. Sure. And we just talked, and I told him, go big, find a bigger venue, they'll come. And then that last show somewhere, he sent me pictures, and there was 500-600 people in the crowd for just his show.
Unbelievable.
And so that's what we're trying to do through Teacher Zone, our software, and the podcast, is to try to get more people doing what Greg's doing all over the world, rather than franchising Los Rios, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's so great to have opportunities for young people that are interested in music, because it's one thing to, like, you know, my experience, I'm 34, so going to school, you could like play the saxophone, you could maybe play the guitar, but that was it. Like, you'd have the case, you would have you know, practice or whatever, but there was no like band, and maybe there were 2 or 3, a dozen at the most, people that had similar interests. So it didn't seem like you could pursue that any further. So if you're I mean, what's the youngest age that people get involved with like Los Rios?
At Los Rios, we start at 6 years old.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Okay, so I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old,
right.
So we have that in common. So that's what's so cool for me, is to think that if I got my 6-year-old interested in like drums or bass or guitar or singing, that he could have a lifetime.
Right.
Certainly, while he is still in school, he would have 12 years to be involved.
Language on earth. Everybody has that. These kids are also sponges. They're learning. They fire faster than we do.
Sure.
They're lacking some wisdom, but so are we.
Right.
That's okay. But we found that if we raise the bar and you have the right gear, they follow suit. The only people, we have about $1 million in gear in that studio.
Wow.
And the only people that have ever broken anything are adults.
No kidding.
Because it's like tying your shoe.
Right.
If you learn to tie your shoe, you don't forget how to tie your shoe.
Sure.
If you want to turn a $3,000 tube amp on correctly in the right stages, they do it. My dad would not.
No offense.
And so we're trying to harness that power.
Yeah.
The Founders Day.
That's right. Hey,
so
Ted, listen.
On Friday, 5 to 7, and Saturday, 5 to 7.
Listen, I'll work it back around, all right?
Well, I was waiting.
Worry about
I don't know. You look like you were spinning out there.
No, I love it. I love it. I could talk about this stuff all day because it's so powerful. And then when you get a chance to see the I don't want to say the finished product, because they're all certainly a work in progress, but seeing these bands that these kids have formed, and they've rehearsed and practiced, and they pursue it, and then they get out and do it.
Right.
Because that's one thing, right? You can be in these spaces and be comfortable, and then it's really about taking that next step and getting out in front of.
And Greg's one of the best kept secrets right now. He just got a new space.
Yep.
It's gotten bigger, and there's a ton of people that don't realize he's 25 minutes away from them.
Exactly.
And they don't know yet. So we just need to spread the word, because he is the promised land. He's getting kids out of the wilderness, and they're making friends for life. And that's what's really important. So it's really nice to have them at Founders Day, Friday and Saturday night.
We had a small taste of it last year. They came out and did a 30-minute show with, what is it, Hum, Rattle, and the Crash? I don't know. They
Hold
had Rattle, and Hum.
Hum and the Crash.
Hum and the Crash.
Did you hear him throw the U2 in there for a second?
I did.
That was really good, Dad.
Thank you.
Dad might not even know who Bono. Do you know Bono?
I've heard of him.
Okay.
You probably might have ran into him on the old roller.
I don't think we met Joan Jett, but we didn't meet Bono. So
Joan Jett is intense. So let's go to the Founders Day schedule again if we can, because I want to show this to everybody, so we can kind of walk through. It's a busy weekend.
Oh, we have a ton of stuff.
There is something for everybody. So here, let's start with Friday, gentlemen.
Oh, so, Friday. Well,
look at that. I mean, that you could. What I would do is I would just make plans to be in Wilton Friday from 4:30 on, and then Saturday from 6 a.m.
Yeah, we've really tried to make it a much more kid-friendly event. So we've got the Fine Arts Guild is doing a bunch of things for the kids down at Elder Park. Giant Jenga, yard dice, bubbles, chalk the walk, ring toss. We've got a kids pedal tractor pull officially sanctioned by Ohana pedal tractors. They're going to be right in the main square down there. And then the Rock Academy is going to start at 5 to 7, and we might even have a couple of local acts that Tyler will insert in there during the proceedings. And then North of 40 plays at 8 o'clock. So, and then all that time is we've got the much more relaxed beer garden atmosphere where, if you want to take your 12-ounce beer and kind of walk and stroll and see the bounce house. Well, the bounce houses aren't there Friday, but coming Saturday, then it really ramps up.
I was going to say, look at Saturday's schedule. I mean, 6 a.m.
Yeah, starts out with the Eager Beaver Run. That's about the 35th annual one, I think.
Wow.
And we've got the River City 6 band that's going to start playing from 10 to 1. So they keep the activity rolling downtown. And, the 9 inflatable bounce houses along Railroad Street for the kids at a little $10 wristband gets you in all day from 10 to 8 p.m. Again, just kids' activities. We got duck races.
Tractor pulls.
The tractor pull's Friday night. But
duck races will be a blast.
Oh yeah,
that's fun.
In fact, the winner of the duck races is going to have a ride in a convertible in the parade, courtesy of the Founders Day Committee.
That's a great deal. Have
you filled out your entry form yet?
Can I do the duck races?
You can do the duck races. Okay. You are allowed. Yes.
Making sure I didn't age out of it.
You're only 34.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, I've still got time. I'm in my prime, quite frankly.
So we're also having a custom car show right downtown.
Excellent.
So Adam Stahl and Stan Sobler are working hard at putting that together. So we're hoping to have maybe 100 cars along Cedar Street and Mauer Street. So Kettle Corn's going to be there, Shaved Ice. We've probably got at least 8 food vendors of varying types. So we're really looking forward to this being a success. Oh, we even have a dunk tank this year.
Yes.
So, if you wanted to volunteer for a 15-minute session in the dunk tank.
Tony Tone, 5 to 5:15 or something.
Here's the thing about dunk tanks. I've probably been asked maybe 20 times in 11 years, and I have never done it.
It's so fun. We're having one at our event the following weekend, and so all the kids
Are you going to be in it?
Absolutely. Well, only for our teachers. So our staff gets to dunk my partner and I.
That's fantastic.
And then the kids get to dunk their directors, and so on and so forth.
That's
for charity,
cool
too, for Love and Service Inc., our autism charity.
That is, see, I'm not saying that I would never get into a dunk tank. I'm just saying I've been asked a lot, and I've always managed to not find my way in.
I'd maintain that stand. I don't think that's a very dignified position.
I'll start. I don't care.
Hey, we got
the big... That's going to be my line. It's not dignified. I'd love to, but I can't.
So one thing about the setup this year, which is unbelievable. So we got Mike Ritchie, local from
Mike is the best.
Muscatine. He's running our sound.
Cool.
So he's bringing all of his outfit. He's got a team coming. I'm doing the stage directing. All the food trucks, the beer garden, the stage, and the beer area where you're allowed to walk around and be in the perimeter of downtown rather than stuck in the beer tent.
Sure.
It's going to be a big deal, so we want families to know that they can come down, the kids can find them, they're not locked away, and don't be afraid to bring a chair for the music.
Gotcha.
Set it up, because it's
bring your lawn chairs.
Yeah, bring your lawn chairs, and it's going to be a blast. Post up, have fun, chill out.
Now, you might not want to do the dunk tank, but we do have pony rides.
Thank you.
I
feel like I've lost enough weight to where I could maybe saddle up
and
not worry about the pony's health.
Well, that sounds like a photo op anyway.
That's right. That's pretty good.
So we got
the pony would just be like, help me.
All right,
please.
What's this? What's going on?
Yeah. We could Photoshop his smile.
Yeah, that's good.
There's going to be a petting zoo there as well. And Dean Mauer's organizing a tractor ride.
Nice.
And
this is what I'm saying. This is great. It's not redoing everything, it's just improving.
It's all there.
Building on a strong foundation.
Jake Hoekster's organizing sand beach volleyball right downtown, right next to the beer garden.
That is super cool.
So there'll be a tournament.
He's literally building the volleyball courts.
I was going to say,
building them, adding the sand, and they're miniature. They're not miniature, but they're smaller.
Wow.
And there's going to be tournaments for that as well.
Yep.
Okay, Ryan, can you pull up the QC Rock Academy flyer for Founders Day? I just want to give some of these bands, and then we're going to hear from one of them. Play a little clip. I want to give them, their recognition. So check this out. This is all part of Founders Day. So Hum Hum and the Crash.
Okay, thank you.
Been there, done that. Been there, done that. And is there one more?
Those are the two main. They've got that night. Those two seasoned bands.
Yes.
There's two of the younger up and coming bands opening for them. So they're not playing a 2-hour set. They're playing an hour or an hour and 15 set, and one of the younger bands, and hot off the press, because they were still deciding their band name last week. but they're opening, and I can't remember if that one's Friday night or Saturday. So it's 4 total.
That's cool.
And those are the 2 Quad City main acts there.
And so one of the things is there was never a lot for kids to do downtown. And so we're hoping that the younger crowd, junior high kids, 4th, 5th graders or whatever, will get a kick out of it.
You cannot play Fortnite for a couple hours. It's not a big deal.
That's right.
Like, everyone loves Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay. And
just come on down and enjoy some live entertainment.
Yeah.
I think it's so good to have that representation and to see your peers, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's normally not the case. And it's nothing to take away from North of 40. They'll have a lot of people out and dancing. But, man, if you're in that, 10 to 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old range, and you see somebody doing something that maybe that could spark, could be the switch getting flipped for a young person to say, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it.
And then so Saturday night, they'll have the same 5 to 7 time slot, and then Compass Rose is the main attraction at 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
Right. By the way, North of 40 has already played with Quad City Rock Academy in the past. So when I was talking to Rich and getting his stage plot, which was hilarious, by the way, hey, Rich, can you get your stage plot over? Nicest guy ever. Oh, we're just a bunch of good old boys. We like playing music. We don't got a stage plot. Then I say, well, do you mind explaining it to me? And I was going to jot it down and make one for him. Out of all the bands, they need a stage plot. He's got in-ear monitors. His drummer has in-ear monitors. He knows exactly where he wants all of his stuff. But it was a great conversation.
I remember seeing those guys get set a couple years ago, and they're using the iPad to set levels. So they're definitely aware.
But they don't need a stage plot. it was good. We had a good conversation.
This is going to be so much fun. Do we have audio from Been There, Done That that we can play? So this is one of the bands.
Saturday night, I believe.
Saturday night.
Yep.
Okay.
Saturday.
So QC Rock Academy. If you've never experienced the shows and the bands that they're able to put together, these kids are so talented. I'm telling you. I've seen several of them because there's also good opportunities for music like this at the Redstone Room and the River Music Experience, which also promotes music education in downtown Davenport. Let's see if we can hear this and That's original music from Been There, Done That. The song is So Done With You. And the fact that, again, not only are they performing and doing these shows, but they have music that is accessible. I mean, we found that on Apple Music and they're on Spotify. They're really going for it.
And you know what's great? If any of the kids that come to watch them, because there'll be kids coming from their neck of the woods, our neck of the woods, those kids love talking to people. Sometimes it feels like you can't go talk to them. I want to tell everybody in Wilton and who comes, go introduce yourselves to them. Get their, they're probably playing Fortnite later that night. Play with them or whatever. Just go talk to them. They're awesome kids, and don't be afraid to go speak with them because they're great kids.
And ask questions, right? Like you're saying, I mean, and we're seeing some great pictures in these experiences that these young people have had. You know, I was there at that KISS meet and greet, and just seeing them, you know, and for these artists, Tyler, you definitely know this, like, for these artists, you know, that's more than just a photo op with Gene and Paul and the crew. Like, that really means something to them because, you know, if Gene and Alice Cooper and these folks are getting up their 60s and 70s, they can still remember that first high school garage band that they were in.
That was the spark.
Right.
Yep. That was the spark.
So when they see that and they meet people like Greg and his crew that are, you know, sort of being the conduit to get these kids plugged in, like, they feel really good and they have genuine interactions, and I'm sure that at your school, Los Rios, like you said, they get to learn from people that have had these experiences.
And then each other, they start getting good. We had to create a whole new group because these kids at 12, they've been with us forever, started charting their own music. By 12 instead of 15, like a few years before that. And so it's just, and we really want to throw a shout out to Greg. He's a very special person. He's an unbelievable family man, a great musician, and if kids are into music or they think they are, they need to go tour his school because he creates great character there as well. It's not just music.
Yeah, that's
so,
definitely
and I mean, we're so lucky to have him out here.
We're looking at some pictures from different QC Rock Academy events, and super excited to have them in Wilton.
Oh, we absolutely are. Yep.
Right. I mean, Ted, this is awesome. I would be remiss to not have you mention some of the support that you have from businesses. We are able to do that on this show. I mean, you can mention whoever you want. I know that list might be too long, but obviously Founders Day has to have that continuing
absolutely.
support,
Several members of the Chamber of Commerce have pitched in sponsor money to cover the tractor pull, and Wilton Development Corporation, Becky Allgood and Becky Hansen have been instrumental in pulling the funds together to sponsor the inflatables and so forth. There's Highline, Jadot Steel and so forth. Yeah, there's just a ton of people that have really pitched in to make this special.
I like seeing the Toyota Muscatine stage.
Toyota Muscatine, sorry. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, they pitched in.
I've got to remember to say that. A lot when I'm talking.
Yeah, there's going to be practicing. There's going to be five brand new.
I was going to say just park a vehicle on the stage.
There's going to be 5 brand new Toyotas. There's going to be 5 brand new Toyotas parked right across from the stage. So I'm sure they'd love you to come by and look at them.
Yeah, they don't mind me sitting in new cars.
No, not at all. Not at all. And last but not least, the parade for Founders Day is at 2:00. And yours truly and Bruce Rabdu, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce Founders Day Committee, will be announcing the event. Now, I've not done any formal announcing since my ESPN days, but I'll dust it off a little bit.
Dust off the jacket.
Well, more importantly, my daughter's on the Dance Academy float.
Nice.
And my son's on the wrestling float.
That's fantastic.
So that's important too, Dad.
I'll try to remember to say
Don't forget the grandkids. This parade is the real deal. Entries over...
I think there's going to be over 100 entries.
That's
in
what
the
I'm
parade.
Saying.
Yeah, it takes about an hour to run by.
Right.
And,
it's not a small deal.
We've outlawed the manure spreaders that created a disaster in 1982. That was actually very interesting, but it was a surprise. It was a shock. So those are outlawed, but they still throw candy out, and the kids run out and get the candy.
It's so impressive to see how many people because you look at Wilton, and it might not be the biggest population on paper. All of a sudden, Founders Day parade, there are people everywhere. But what's super fun is folks that live along the parade route that just sort of welcome people onto their lawns, and there's such a strong sense of community. I mean, I say it often, when you're in downtown Wilton, it feels like a vacation town to me, and I say that with all due respect. Like, I just get that good feeling, and we can see that progress with the revitalization in places like the Candy Kitchen, just looking better, and so many other buildings that are going to do the same. So yes, it makes sense to keep strengthening and fine-tuning Founders Day, because we want to be able to say that 40 years from now it'll still be continuing. Right?
That's the goal. You got to change things up to keep it fresh. Otherwise, it gets stale. And human nature is okay. What next? What next?
Sure.
And so that's what we're trying to do.
Tyler. So I don't want to assume, but you look like a drummer. Do you drum? Do you play any instruments? I would assume that you drum.
That was the most insulting thing
You're built like a drummer. Is that not right? Am I wrong?
No, I do play drums. I've recorded on a couple of albums, but my main guitar, I toured in a band called The In Between. As a songwriter, we were just a loud trio. So I'm a guitar player, and I was a bassist before anything.
Nice.
Then guitar, then vocals, and so I play a little of everything, and we kind of had to do that at our school too, so that the people can play across from all their students in those libraries.
That makes it so important. I want to talk about Teacher Zone. Zone. So here, look at this great picture right there. Let's pull that back up for a second. So you talk about the podcast. Explain what Teacher Zone is and how it can help. Great pose. Tell me that's not a drummer's pose.
So that's my business partner, Chris Bates, right there. Unbelievable man. He's a drummer.
Okay.
He's the drummer in the video that we created in 2011 with that band.
Sure.
So no, he's the drummer. That looks like a drummer.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is it because of the tattoo? Are we stereotyping tattoos now? Or is it the lack of hair? Or what is it?
He's not going to be at Founders Day, by the way.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. You should have brought him in. Just darn it. He could have just been rocking.
Another shameless plug.
Yeah. Yes. So talk about Teacher Zone, though.
Teacher Zone. Cool. Chris and I got together. His kids were coming to our school. We were already best friends and playing music together. And the culture at our school was growing like gangbusters. And he came from a software background prior to that, before we partnered up. And he kept saying things like, this is unreal, your culture's unreal. We got to figure out how to monetize this. And I used to go, shut up.
Right.
I left the mortgage industry to not talk like this anymore.
Sure.
But he was right. I thought I'd set up a couple other satellite places to reach more children.
Sure.
And come to find out, to build a team of people that I have that are drug tested, live scanned, multi-instrumentalists, employees, not contractors, and relevant recording artists. They're like unicorns. We have 13 of them, and it was not easy to get that many millennials in one place.
Sure.
And be on board. And so there was no way I was going to do that again.
Right.
Franchise or whatever. So we created Teacher Zone, which is the first ever learning management system and business growth portal for the performing arts. And so it allows schools to not only collect all their tuitions and do all the scheduling, but it sends SMS notifications and emails if a child doesn't show up.
Wow.
And all of this, and lets mom and dad know, most importantly, here's the real reason. When their practice is assigned, there's a practice timer, and whatever they click on goes back, the metrics go back to the teacher's dashboard.
That is fantastic.
And there's live chat 24/7, teacher's choice to respond or not, with file share. So at Los Rios, our kids have to turn in their challenge videos 2 days before their lesson through the file share.
Cool.
And that way they can be mentored and coached more rather than taught during the lesson. And so it's a flipped classroom mentality using the cloud. It's all on Amazon servers. We have 60,000 users so far, and we just went to market less than a couple years ago. And we're in 46 states, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada so far, including the biggest conglomerate in Canada called Cosmo Music, who does Cosmo Fest. They have 2,200 students, and they do like 50 million a year in retail sales. They're like Guitar Center Sweetwater for Canada.
That is super
and so it's been a
exciting.
really interesting ride, and Chris Bates is just, he and I have been having a blast creating a community. It's not just the software. So the Teacher Zone with Chris and Tyler is a podcast talking about threats to our industry, helping teachers think out of the box, security for our kids, and all of that.
Teacher Zone is one of the sponsors of Founders Day as well.
Makes sense.
So there's a connection.
Yeah. How proud are you?
I got to say it twice more before we're done.
Well, how proud are you though? Because this
Very
is such
proud.
an incredible thing to be able to watch, from its inception grow, certainly, but then just know that these kids are going to be so much better and for some of these kids, it might be that outlet that keeps them out of trouble or allows them to finally, maybe they had tried sports or tried different things, but man, unlocking that music, like you said, music is the
great
most
thing
powerful
about
language.
it is it's like all the power, they're all power forwards, every song, kicking the goal at the same time. Even though you've got Shred Boy, who can sport guitar guy, but you don't have to be that dexterity driven to play rhythm. And so we can mix people as long as your tone and your rhythm's good. Everyone succeeds based on how you produce them. No one's left out.
Right.
And it's not a everybody gets a trophy situation either. We practice hard.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. It truly is.
Alice Wallace.
Yep. Oh, and that's another thing. Just so you know, all of this couldn't have come unless my dad was Mr. Music Guy my whole life.
Okay.
So he had all these guitars. You should see his basement. I think there's over 30.
Wow.
And he plays with my mom.
That's all? 30?
Well, I ran out of money.
So, and he was also in a band with my wife and my mom called Hold the Mayo. It was like a bluegrass type of honky-tonk band. And so a lot of what he does for the town, he has this whole side thing where he just loves music. And that's why Pitching Dad...
Oh my God.
Yes. Thank you, Ryan.
Pitching Dad, the whole Dad, let's get a big stage, trust me.
Yeah.
Let's get the sound engineer. Plus he's been watching. It wasn't really a hard pitch. Because the music is that whole town's gonna be full of Mike Ritchie's big sound now.
Oh yeah.
That even in between bands while they're setting up, a Spotify playlist will be in the background. It'll feel like it's nothing stopping. And that's what's gonna be a really neat addition this year.
His mother and I are very proud of what he's done because we were still in California when he started this, and he had like a stick and a pencil, and it literally was built from what's in his head, and it came from the most basic start to where what do you got in enrollment now? Over 200?
200 families.
200 families and so forth. So yeah, I mean it's a true American story. If you got an idea and you got the talent and you got the drive, he's built this into something that's really only starting to see its upward climb.
It's so exciting to have. I didn't know that you were back. This is so great. What a great resource for the area.
Does this mean you're not going to ask me to come back?
No, by all means. I might just go through Tyler.
He didn't know I was back in town. He thought I was visiting.
Oh, is that
yeah.
I just thought you were in town to help out with this, but it's better to know that you're here, because you can be such a great resource for the people that you serve, and then also just like the Greg Hipskins of the world. And I wonder, like, are you to the point where you're approaching schools and offering help? I know that
we are Teacher Zone right now. Mm-hmm. We have a big plan once we get to a certain amount of users, where we're going to approach, and we were already talking with actual school districts around the country.
I wondered
about that. As soon as we R&D and beta test there, which it's already ready to go, it's just you got to make it look good on paper to them.
Sure.
I mean, the system stores every educational analytic possible that's in there, and that's all they care about.
Right.
We want to do the music,
right,
but we built this, and so everybody will want to use it also, and then it should come together. And our first initial 1.0 goal is to affect 2 million students worldwide, and so we're at 38,000 right now. In about 18 months, 2 years.
That is incredible. Definitely on the right path for sure.
We're not giving up. It's a day at a time.
No, and as someone that enjoys podcasts, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
You should listen to ours. We're really funny.
Yeah. Listen, I just recorded a podcast last night for my movie review show. We watched The Meg and talked about how ridiculous that is.
You have a movie review podcast?
Yes. The one seat buffer, shameless plug.
Okay.
The one seat buffer. And of course the one seat buffer is when you go to see a movie with your friends, you have to leave a one seat buffer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that.
I did that with my wife once. She did not think it was funny.
You could do that about urinals.
Right. Yes. The one seat buffer urinal podcast.
Yeah, it's a unwritten law.
That's right.
Yeah.
It should be. Wilton Founders Day, Friday, Saturday. Give me the schedule one more time, Mr. Broderson. I just want to do a slow scroll. Here's what you need to know. Show up in Wilton. Have a good time. Even if you've never made it to Founders Day. Maybe this will be the first Founders Day that you go to. I promise you'll have fun. And you can appreciate all the work that goes into this. And Ted and Tyler can tell you that it's no small task. There are volunteers on top of volunteers.
Absolutely.
Planning. And you'll start planning 2019's event probably Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, about the week later, yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
So there is no slowdown period, and it's all to just show off, to showcase, not show off, but showcase Wilton and how great it is. And there's something for everybody. I mean, I like the fact that there's a comic book and cartoon character theme for the parade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see right there, shout out to the Grand Marshal, Ed and Jerry Williams. Volleyball tournament.
Well,
it's all there.
That's actually an old schedule.
That's the old schedule.
Yeah,
okay.
Ed respectfully withdrew.
Okay.
He's little health reasons, but.
Are you about to ask me to be the Grand Marshal?
No, that was already filled by Doc Stanley. He's been a dentist in Wilton for 40 plus years. Yeah, you know Doc. Who doesn't know Doc?
Right. Doc's a character.
But at the historic Rock Island Depot after the parade, so you can go by and make fun of it a little bit. Oh, gee whiz, we almost forgot
Ryan,
that.
Right, not ready for prime time.
Yeah,
alumni.
That's the Alumni Association. I happen to be president of that, but we have teamed with the Masonic Temple over the last couple of years, and we're putting on our little 1 hour series of sketches and so forth, and there's a reprise of Barbie and Ken this year.
Nice.
And that was very popular last year. You see a couple of photos there. And Ben Brown of the Wilton Bank, he's in it as Ken. My wife plays Barbie, and
awesome.
She's probably going to retire after this year and lend the mantle of Barbie to some younger
I don't know. I saw her in
actress.
Practice last night, and she looked like she was having too much fun.
Corey Freeman of Freeman Fitness plays G.I. Joe, and he's perfectly developed for that part.
He's been working out for that role his entire life.
It all makes sense now.
Oh my God.
He's just a natural at that part.
This is super exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm so glad you guys came on. And
thanks for having us.
Please come back and just talk Wilton or talk Teacher Zone, and just keeping, as a parent, again, first grade starts soon. For my son, and it's one of those things like you never want to I don't want to be the parent that forces my kids to do anything, but I certainly will have filled my house with
There's
music.
A whole concept about that, especially with music, and it goes with anything. and you don't have to white knuckle it. And maybe I'll tell you how that works.
Yeah, I would like to not have to do that. I grew up listening to, from Sinatra to Dean Martin to The Doors and the Guess Who are some of my mom's favorites. So I was exposed. I got the bug early, right? I mean, I can remember at the library putting in Cream and hearing White Room for the first time in a library with headphones on and just thinking, like, what is going on?
Changes
That's
everything.
such a cool moment. And fortunately, you can have that experience now by pressing a button on your... I know. For the people that don't think we're living in the future, I'm watching the show that we're doing right now on my phone, and I have access to do whatever. So that's what I think is exciting about that part of the technology, when you can embrace it and utilize it like y'all have to for what you're doing, right? I mean, you can't let it pass you by, and you're certainly not.
and it's coming fast. Like what's happening? I mean, there'll probably be what are the big iPads now? The $1,000. Yeah. Those there'll probably be $100 versions of those for everyone in 4 years, and then paper's gone. Maybe 4 to 5 years. Now they said that 10, 15 years ago too, but it's getting closer.
I drove to work this morning and I saw somebody turning into the all steel lot in a Tesla. There's a Tesla, and I was like, "Wow, there's a Tesla. That's cool."
I haven't seen one here yet.
I couldn't believe it.
They're everywhere out there. In California.
It was crazy. I could see the outline of like the big screen or whatever. I don't know, but I was like, "Wow, that might as well be a flying car as far as I'm concerned." I don't even know if the guy had his hands on the wheel. I'm not going to judge him. Listen, he might be the boss of All Steel. Shout out to All Steel, by the way. But I just thought that's pretty cool. All right, Founders Day, Friday, Saturday. Thank you again, gentlemen, for coming on. It's going to be a good time. All you have to do is show up. We're going to look at the CBI Bank and Trust aisle camera, which is set up not that far from where we do the show. I like that it's high up there, so you kind of have a fun perspective. And as someone who hasn't had candy in a while, the Twizzlers are making me hungry. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, guys. See you this weekend. I appreciate it. I want to do a shameless plug for Iowa Hawkeye apparel. Check this out right here. This is actually my size too. Hawkeye shirts, baby. $16. Think about this. And this is for a 3XL. And I'm trying to not be a 3XL because when you're bigger, you have to pay more for clothing, which is kind of annoying. So if you're smaller than me, you're probably going to pay less for a Hawkeye shirt. So we've got Hawkeye, Iowa State Cyclone gear. And then this is super fun. I feel like Carrot Top. I got all these props. This is the kind of bag that's like a stadium bag that you could take into a place like Kinnick or Jack Trice Stadium. It's clear. And, they've gotten pretty specific about this kind of stuff, bringing things into stadiums. So check it out. From shirts to stadium bags. I think I'm going to buy this one. Or, I don't know. I could just put it on over my dress shirt, but that might look weird. I don't want to look puffy because I'm not as puffy anymore. But that's fun, right? $16 for a good-looking Hawkeye shirt. And it's really soft. Look at this. Oh, now I think I have to buy it since I nuzzled it. Check it out. Hawkeye stuff. Today is an exciting day, Betsy, and you're going to have a short jaunt in the Toyota Muscatine Kart Cam, but maybe then you'll take the Toyota Muscatine Kart Cam to Founders Day. Today is, amongst other things, National Filet Mignon Day. So I wonder, Betsy, as you approach the meat department, could you ask Mark to show you if he has any filet mignon in the case? What a great dinner that would be, some filet mignon. And we have so many things to talk about yet. I don't want to forget, I have my list in front of me, but this is first things first. Toyota Muscatine Kart Cam. Here's Mr. Mark Heideball. She's asking about filet mignon, and he's going to show us if there is some in the case. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Okay, Betsy, I'm getting hungry for a filet mignon. Seasoned just right with a big old hunk of butter. That's all you need, right? Some real butter and a little salt and pepper. Oh, he's cutting one right now? Oh, cool. All right, well, Betsy, if you get one and you want to bring it back over here, that's fine. That's exciting. So how about some fresh cut filet mignon? That's good timing. I wonder if they even knew that it's National Filet Mignon Day. It's also National Prosciutto. It's a wine, type of wine. Prosecco. Is it Prosecco? You say Prosecco, I say tomato, potato, Prosecco. I don't know. go to Wine and Spirits. They'll take care of you. And it's, listen up, if this is you, it's not me. Did you know that today is National Left-Handers Day? So if you're left-handed, Ryan Broderson, then you write like this. I don't know how you do it. And you smudge everything with your hand. My wife's a lefty. Shout out to all of you lefties, but this guy will be a little bit of a righty right here. But why is it that when lefties, I've always noticed that when you write, it's like I don't know, I don't do that as a righty. I don't have that like turned in motion. And I'm not crazy, right? Ryan Broderson, do you often find yourself like going across? It's almost like if you had, let me just do it. Like if you had paper, some people like that are lefties, they almost go like across and then, I don't know. I'm a righty though. Right there. I can shoot a basketball decently with my left hand. I'm not bad at that. I'm not terrible at it. So in addition to today being Monday, which is, maybe not your most favorite day of the week, if you like saving money on gas, it's very quickly going to become your most favorite day of the week, specifically today. So we are, right now, Make My Monday is going on until 8 p.m. And you can earn 13 cents off per gallon for every $13 you spend here at Hy-Vee. So let's do some math. You spend $13, you get 13 cents. Spend $26, you would get 26 cents, and so on. It adds up, it stacks up, and it's a great way to save at the gas pump. Ladies and gentlemen, make my Monday. Betsy is about to make my Monday by delivering a fresh cut filet mignon. Oh my goodness, what in the world are... Look at that, num. There's some fresh cut filet mignon. Check that out. Wow, does that look good. National Filet Mignon Day, Mike Church. Check it out. That looks good. Wow. That doesn't get any more fresh than that. Doesn't get any fresher. That's wonderful. Holy moly. Filet Mignon Day. Yeah, that's delightful. Wow. How do you not just take that home and enjoy it? Could be the best lunch you've ever had, or dinner, or both, or snack, whatever you want. So celebrate responsibly with National Filet Mignon Day, will you? Illinois City Firemen's Festival was on Saturday. I just want to give a shout out to Jason Wolf and Barry Lefevre. That is such a great time in Illinois City, and their parade, like the Founders Day parade, this is just a couple pictures from the Illinois City Firemen's Festival parade. Over 80 entries. And you can just see how many people. I mean, their parade also took an hour, and all the proceeds from the day benefit the volunteer fire departments in Illinois City and Buffalo Prairie. So those are people, again, that have full-time jobs, have regular lives, but when duty calls, they show up. They did a demonstration. They lit a truck on fire and then put it out, which was cool. And then I believe the MedForce helicopter flew in, and great time. So shout out to everybody in Illinois City. It was good to see some familiar faces. Okay, tonight, Monday the 13th, we have Friends Trivia starting at 6 p.m. At this moment, we've got about 60 people, maybe a little bit more, coming to play Friends Trivia. So if you're a Chandler fan or a Ross fan or Rachel or Phoebe and Joey, did I get those all right? I'll be there for you as host if you're there for me too. Tonight, 6 o'clock. Free to play. And listen, if your team wins trivia, $35 Hy-Vee gift card, first place. Second place, $15 gift card. I'm not sure if we're going to have 10 rounds of questions, only because there's not a lot of Friends Trivia questions on the internet, and I don't have the time to sit there and think of them. So there might be like 7 or 8 rounds of trivia with 10 questions per round. And, that's going to be fine too. Harry Potter, I could have had 500 questions. Friends Trivia, a little bit more taxing, but I promise you this, it'll be a good time and a great way to start off your week on Monday. Plus, it's free to play, right? Can I see the graphic just one more time? 6 o'clock, Friends Trivia. Be there or be square, okay? Come on out, have fun. There you go, 6 till 8. Probably get done a scotch before 8, just in case you got things you need to take care of, but we'll have fun with that, I promise. Yesterday, we had a good turnout for the kids' character lunch. I sent Ryan Broderson one picture from this, and it's of myself with Catboy and Mickey and Minnie. And somebody on Facebook asked, what is that guy sitting on? To which I replied, an invisible chair. Because if you look at the picture, you can't really see that I'm sitting on a chair. I could be sitting on Mickey's hand. I could be holding a squat position. But no, there was a chair, but I am perfectly covering up the chair. And that was a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody who came out for that. Shameless plug for something that looking forward to personally going to on Wednesday. It'll be maybe the third summer that my wife and I have gone to see Jim Gaffigan, and I think there's still tickets on sale. Stand up. And listen, you better believe that I sent Jim Gaffigan's publicist, manager, and his social sites. Just listen. Hey, go back for a second. Let's look at Gaffy. I said, listen, you're in Des Moines the night before. You're probably traveling by bus down Interstate 80, and if there is ever a personality, comedian, actor that would appreciate a talk show that's in a grocery store, I said I could have a plate of bacon and Hot Pockets waiting, if that's what he needs. Jim travels with his wife and kids, and if by somehow he's able to see this, all you got to do, Jim Gaffigan, is pull into the parking lot. You can walk in and be in and out of here in 15 or 20 minutes. I talked to him on the phone about a year ago. I met Jim about 11 years ago in Cedar Rapids, and one of my prized possessions, and it hangs in my laundry room, is a framed picture from the Beyond the Pale tour. And it says, to Tony Tone, my best friend, Jim Gaffigan. And this is also true, and this is super nerdy. Back before Facebook had, like, pages for people, like Jim probably has a couple 100,000 or 1 million people that like his page or whatever. But before that, Jim Gaffigan just had like a normal Facebook profile, and we were Facebook friends. And for one of my birthdays, he wrote "Happy Birthday" on my wall. So that's just super random, right? Isn't that random? I know. I just thought I'd share that with you. Iowa Hawkeye football had media day on Friday. I think it was Friday. We have their team picture to show you. So there's your 2018 Iowa Hawkeye football team. Looking good, right? So they are ready to go. The season starts, first game, September 1st, Northern Illinois, okay? September 1st. The first 4 games are home games in Iowa City at Kinnick. And don't forget, if you need stuff for Hawkeye games, we've got you right here. And then the last thing I want to mention, Team Staffing Job Board. If you are looking for a job or know someone that is, you can contact our friends at Team Staffing on Lake Park Boulevard, and they will get you to work right across from Happy Joe's, everybody. Charity and Katie and the crew, they always have opportunities to serve your needs, right? So if you find yourself in the job market, maybe it's not you, maybe it's somebody that you know, or a friend that you talk about this with. Hey, good to see both mics here, everybody. Shout out to both mics. Oh, we're matching again. That's awesome. I'd put them on camera, but we have an agreement. We have an unspoken agreement to not put each other on the spot. So they'll just have to be behind the camera for now. All right, Team Staffing Job Board. First opening is swing shift, forklift, and machine operator. You can call our friend Mary, 563-316-7634 with the thunder. Song playing in the background that I hope you can't hear because we'll get sued. Second opening on the Team Staffing Job Board. Job Board. Got the job board. Dung, dung, dung. What's next on the JOB board? Gonna freestyle for Betsy. She has a braid now, and it's cool. That didn't rhyme. Forklift openings, $14.28 an hour. Jenny is your person to contact at Team Staffing Solutions, 563-316-7635. And last but not least on the job board for Monday, the 13th of August, here's an opportunity for you or someone you know. First and second shift CNC operators. Katie has it. 563-316-7639. Careers at teamssi.com. Team Staffing Solutions does a great job on their social channels like Facebook and Instagram, letting you know what they have available. Thanks to Ted and Tyler Maroff coming on this show, talking Wilton Founders Day, Friday, Saturday in beautiful Wilton, Iowa. Tyler is fast. I thought the dude was still living in California. I had no idea. He was a great guest, and I'm really excited for Founders Day. Probably going to personally go up on Friday. This Saturday, I'm DJing a class reunion. Check this out. For the Muscatine High School class of 1963. That's going to be a good time. That's going to be a fun playlist to put together. They want songs from like 56 to 65. I'm all in on that. So shout out to the class of 63, and shout out to Wilton Founders Day, and the fact that you should go up there and check it out. I promise it'll be a good time. Take it from me. You can trust me, right? I'm your friend. With steak. Look at, I'm your friend with giant steak. I can almost not pick it up. I mean, look at this. Don't zoom in. Just keep it right there. That's good. Look at how good that looks. Big old steak right there. All right. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks to our friends at CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Team Staffing. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. You can always catch the rebroadcast of this program on MPW Channel 5, weeknights and on the weekends. And we'll leave you with just a live look. Can we go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam right now? We'll just see what's going on that side of the store, from Twizzlers to back-to-school supplies. There's some fun Halloween banners and Halloween candy. And here's the thing. I know that it's August, but this candy is fresh, like just got here from the factory, so it is good. I mean, there's a bag of peanut butter M&Ms, and if I could, I would just open it and just like dump it all in my mouth and just enjoy it. I miss peanut butter M&Ms a lot. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you on Tuesday right here at Hy-Vee Today, friends.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community. Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.
Steve found a nice little baggie. Fantastic. I had to stop at the chorus.